Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. According to the World Bank, Kenya has made significant financial strides towards eliminating poverty in the country in the last 20 years, but between 2005 and 2021, this economic growth has not been evenly distributed to its working class people. We've seen this phenomenon take place in other large African countries like Uganda and Nigeria, where the economy sees significant financial growth and subsided military conflict, but there is still a relatively large percentage of people living in poverty in the country. What I find interesting about all the countries I mentioned is that Kenya, Uganda, and Nigeria are some of the largest and most influential countries in Africa, but they all have a terrible track record for LGBTQ rights. When leaders need a distraction and someone to blame for why the economic prosperity in their country isn't trickling down to the common man, leaders need a convenient scapegoat. Though the term LGBTQ is a new Western political term, same-sex relationships and gender non-conforming people have been a part of Kenyan history for thousands of years, and Kenyans using Islam and Christianity to blame the LGBTQ community for the ills of the country is a regressive and harmful political tactic that will only hold the country back. I've met wonderful acquaintances and LGBTQ rights activists from Kenya, as well as Black gay men who have visited Kenya, and have told me how beautiful it is. From the impression I heard from the Black American gay men who visited numerous times, it seemed like hooking up with men in Kenya was part of their vacation itinerary. Speaking to Kenyan LGBTQ rights activists here in the States, it was clear to me that Kenya does have a vibrant LGBTQ community that is fighting for its rights. So this idea that Kenyan LGBTQ community as something new is an outright falsehood. One of my favorite gay films to come from the African continent is Rafiki, a love story about two young women whose parents are Kenyan politicians that are at odds, but they fall for each other and date in secret. Check out my review of the movie on my other YouTube channel, Paradise Press JA. Though Kenya has groundbreaking gay movies, queer artists, and LGBTQ rights activists, the last decade has seen a regression for LGBTQ rights in the country. In 2023, Kenyan courts enacted harsher penalties for Kenyans who have same-sex intimacy, including 14 to 21 years in prison. Kenya's LGBTQ community did see some small gains last year, though. In October, a Kenyan court ruled in favor of LGBTQ plaintiffs when a non-governmental organization, board, discriminated against them by not allowing them to register their organization. Hundreds of conservative Muslims, joined by conservative Christians, protested the ruling in the streets of Nairobi, Kenya's capital. It's frustrating to see that a country that was once one of the more liberal East African countries is now regressing on LGBTQ rights. Physical and verbal attacks against LGBTQ people are relatively common, especially for those who are out of the closet or are outside of the typical gender binary. Despite these legal setbacks, there are umbrella organizations like the Gay and Lesbian Coalition of Kenya that have been working in Kenya since 2006, providing information to the community about their rights, providing emergency support, and mental health support programs. One of the GALCK branch organization's fascinating sounding programs is Ishtar MSM, a health group for men who have sex with men to educate themselves about HIV testing, treatment, and their general sexual health rights. Hopefully with enough education and patience, the people of Kenya will wake up and see that their hatred and misunderstanding of LGBTQ people is just a distraction from Kenyan people coming together to reach their highest potential as a country.